Hey, this is Matt from Werewolves. You're listening to another podcast with Metal V on Heavy Mag.
Let's dive straight into it. Four albums in, five if you include the EP. Honestly, how do you continue to be so creative? Because this is not your only band, let's be honest.
I don't know, man. I've just, it's just there. Like I don't really know how to answer it because it's almost, I think I can just, as far as metal goes, death metal particularly, it's fucking in my bones, man. Like, I can't not, like, it's there. Like, I could probably write an album starting tomorrow and have it done in a few days, you know? It just happens. I can just do it. I don't know what it is.
So is it just a creativity thing, and you need to be creative and writing constantly, and just get product out there? Because I mean, there's a lot of music out there, Matt. You know, and with the review that I did, I didn't say. Sorry, I did say that I can't. I don't know if you guys are kind of growing as a band and as a sound because there's so much stuff coming out. And do you just want to smother the world in extreme metal?
Maybe that's the answer to that. I think, I don't know. It's just like I've been like both me and Sam. You know, when he joins in,
He's here. Hey, Sam.
Yeah,
What's up?
hey, we've both been doing this for so long, and I think one of the things that you sort of grow that when it happens, you latch onto it, is when you've got the opportunity and, you know, like a fucking team of people where you can actually create and work and get things done, then it's like you've just got to fucking go with it because the fucking clock keeps ticking and the world keeps turning.
Yeah.
And if you don't fucking do it this year, it won't happen. You know, like you just get it done, get the fucking job done, get started, make it happen. If I'm going to write an album, then I'm going to fucking sit down, I'm going to do it and get it done.
Yeah.
And then that's just the mindset, you know. And so many people don't have that. Well, for one, they don't have that mindset. They don't have that fucking drive. And, you know, not many people necessarily have that ability either. So when you're lucky enough to fucking surround yourself with a few like-minded savages, and this is in every fucking area of life as well, not just fucking death metal, or, you know, not just music, anything. When you've got that opportunity to fucking get shit done, then you got to fucking do it, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably that, just taking advantage of finally having that situation, because I've played in many bands and not always had that fucking opportunity to really push, just because people are at different parts, different stages of life, and, you know, people want different things out of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So if the planets align and you've got the opportunity to fucking do something, then fucking do it. That's sort of my, you know, thinking with that sort of, with the death metal sort of creation and
even still, like with so much going on and so much music out there, attributing it to you personally, Matt, and this will go to you as well, Sam. What's Werewolves, Matt Wilcock's, and Sam Bean's mission statement?
Uncompromising, unending death metal.
Yeah. Sam. Sam's jumped in.
Hey, man.
Hey, mate.
Mission statement. Well, I was going to say, I think we did a song called Mission Statement, and it basically encapsulated everything right there. But if we were going to sum it up in a sentence, it'd just be like, keep on smashing you all endlessly with death metal until like we fucking bleed. Both of us, all of us. And I'm sort of behind what Matt was saying before. Like, you probably know this as well. Like, you start getting around this vintage, and you see sort of like, life can turn out a little bit fucking horrific just randomly for people. So yeah, very much when you got the opportunity to like just get after it, you fucking go for it. You just don't know what's coming around the corner.
Sam, what have you done differently on My Enemies Look and Sound Like Me to what you've done previously?
Nothing.
Don't hold back.
Less work than usual.
Look, I was going to say, like, if you do something like with any regularity, you get better at it. And this is 4 years in a row of making death metal albums. Normally people get the hang of it just after 2. And so, it was sort of like got it going on. Maybe the big difference for me was like I wasn't focusing on, I wasn't having to learn bass or, the bass lines or record bass lines at the same time as I was writing the vocals, because we did all the instrumentation for albums 2 and 3, like, not 2 and 3, 3 and 4, sorry, at the same time.
Yeah.
And then kind of like, split songs up, going, right, this one's going on this album, this one will go on the other. And so that was a full-on year, like, a couple of years ago, like recording 2 albums worth of instruments and then sorting out like the vocals for that album. But when it came to last year, I was able to really just like, that was all I had on my plate. So I was able to really get after it. I'm noticing it this year because I've had to, I'm sort of like just in the throes of finishing off like my work on album 5 at the moment. So, I'm back to having to learn like the bass lines and record them for an album as well as come up with the vocals. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, I forgot what a workload this can be sometimes. G'day, this is Sam.
And this is Matt. And you're listening to another podcast from the Heavy Mag.
1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like you, fucking angel. You disgust me. Lose your will, you. I don't like you, fucking angel. Tear your limbs off me, you do that. If you were the last person on earth, I'd fucking kill us both. I don't like you, fucking angel. Just
savagery of the attack would suggest the action of an animal. Or a lunatic, perhaps.
So you guys living apart, are you guys just sending tracks back and forth? Or are you like in a good vicinity where you can actually rehearse at the same time?
It's all, as far as writing and recording, it all gets emailed, you know, like me and Dave, well, I'll write a song, you know, give or take, and then I'll write a fucking album, more to the point. I'll send it to the guys.
Yeah.
They'll generally, you know, they'll just say, Dave might say, oh, make this one a bit quicker, or maybe make that one a touch slower, just so it hits a bit hard. He'll maybe make a few tempo suggestions, and Sam might make a couple of arrangement suggestions, and other than that, like, it's all just done. Like, I'll send the videos of the riffs, maybe a bit of an explanation of things, and he'll learn them on his own. Dave will just do his own thing drum-wise in his own time, and we don't. The first time we usually play a song, I guess last year, has been when we are trying to learn it for a gig or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
I'm laughing at the idea of you just sending a song through. Like, no, it's like I get a fucking zip file. It's got like 8 or 9 of the bastards in it. It's like, learn these.
There's a really good segue into the next question, guys. You know, if there's 8 or 9 going out into a zip, Matt, how many songs are you writing for each album, considering there's only 8 or 9 per album?
I'll write 9. So like we've got a thing. We pretty much just do 9 songs. Yeah, I'll write 9, and that'll be pretty much it. Like, I know that I'm confident with the 9 songs, so like I know that they're going to be okay. So I'll just write 9 at a time, and that's it. Go from there.
With that, Sam, and obviously Dave not being here, like, how much input do you have into putting things in and cutting things out of what Matt writes?
I think I've got a lot of leeway to make suggestions, but to be honest, it turns up 99% like there. It's very rare for me to sort of, you know, because normally, you know, not only has Matt worked it and reworked it a little bit, but Dave said his piece as well by the time it comes through to me. So I've got very little to say. Like, and the other thing as well is, like, I kind of trust in the guys. There'll be songs that come through where it doesn't strike me immediately or whatever, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm banging out vocals to this anyway, no matter what. And it all seems to work out. So there is a fair bit of trust there. Like, I'm like, you know, most of the stuff I like, most of the stuff is already there, and I'm like, if I've got a question mark about something, unless it's really something that's getting my goat or not working, then I shut up and go with it, because their metal instincts are true and pure.
Let's play a song. Sam, I messaged you earlier about Under the Ground and a lyric for that, because I actually wanted to use that as a tagline for my review that I did. Can you tell us about Under the Ground and what the lyrical inspiration was behind that?
Inspiration. It's such the wrong word to use with this, but like...
Sorry, hatred.
Yeah, how dare you? Yeah, no, it's... that one's like... There's normally a song on each album where, like, we absolutely fucking give it to our fans, like, for having the temerity to listen to us. And... you know, one where we really rip into people, and that's that song on this album. Like, I think I've been listening to Tupac's Hit 'Em Up, like the one, you know, I think he got shot for, and I just thought how magnificent it was, like, you know, to just go all out in a track. And it's fucking death metal. Like, if you can't really, you know, give everyone and everything a spray, then, you know, what the fuck? Why leave it to the gangster rappers? I mean, like, yeah, death metal is supposed to be able to go hard. So that's our go hard song. Like, don't look for any deep lyrical meaning, any metaphors or anything like that. It's just a great big fuck off to everyone. Probably my favorite bit of the song is talking about Schrodinger's lyrics, like that little verse there where basically it's just formless grunting, like, during it. So, yeah, it's got a bit of a sense of humor to it. But catchy track. We get to scream out shit cunt as well, so it rules.
I made sure I put I dropped the C-bomb in the review too, by the way. Under the Ground, enemies look and sound like me, Werewolves. It would be rare for a band, Matt, you were talking before about when you find 2 or 3 or 4 or however many like-minded people that you can just click with. You know, a lot of bands come and go, and you can, as a fan, as somebody who writes about metal, as somebody who's listened to it for a long time, you can feel and hear when a member comes and goes, or when they come back and there's something lacking. How important and good is it to have found something like that? Because let's not lie, you guys have written a lot of fucking albums together.
It's a rarity, you know, like it's hard, and it's a good thing. Like, you know, I think all the bands that I've been in, like since being a fucking teenager, there's always been issues with like people, and I'm not even saying that in an overly negative way. I'm just saying it that people are different, and people have different goals, and also people change over time. So none of it is none of my experiences are necessarily negative with people or in bands. It's just the way it is, you know. People change, and people have got different sort of goals and aims and shit. So, you know, for us who are all, you know, the same sort of age, everyone's like a fucking grown up with a mortgage and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So I think given where we all are in life, and the fact that we all just fucking love death metal and want to just make death metal, just the fact that we're all in the same mindset of wanting to do that and do it well, and do some of the other things that go along with that, be it touring, playing shows, fucking, you know, just all the other stuff that goes along. Just the fact that we're all somewhat on the same page and all heading in the same direction, it's fucking great, you know. It's a rarity, you know. So it's very good.
So you can confidently write something and go, the guys are going to get this. I don't need to explain anything. It's going to be magic from the first riff.
Yeah, totally.
Rad.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Like, and there has been times, and I'm thinking maybe more with Antichrist, because with Antichrist Imperium, which means Xanadu. And you know, and obviously you've heard something like, because like that band, it's a little bit more out there, and it's a bit fucking. It goes off on a tangent. I know there's been times with that, for example, where Sam's like, "Oh, I don't know if this is. I don't know what you're doing, but I don't know if it's gonna work." And I'll be like, "Trust me, I've got a fucking vision. I know it's gonna happen. You know, it's gonna be cool." And you know, and in the end, hopefully, it has turned out well. But again, Werewolves, it's just fucking death metal, and the three of us have been fucking playing death metal for a long time. So, you know, whether it's good or not, whether people like it or not, we're fucking good at doing this thing that we do, and we're all pretty confident that it's going to be good for what it is. Mm-hmm. So I've got complete faith in the other two to fucking do things properly, as I'm sure they've got faith in me to fucking write fucking 9 brutal songs once a year or more if they ask me to.
Sam, do you want to chime in here?
What was the question again?
That was like 5 minutes ago. It was just about like finding, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 like-minded people that just get what you do, and not having to explain yourself. You can just produce something artistically, you know, whether it be extreme metal or fucking, you know, avant-garde metal, and how good it is to be able to have that and have that trust and faith.
It's pretty good. It probably, after, because there's been like a good, you know, there's a few decades now making music, and you know, we've sort of like, I think we did a lot of work together at kind of like the start of that, and there's been obviously a lot of work in this last decade or so now. Yeah. But there's sort of like that break in the middle as well, where we've sort of, you know, we've been with a bunch of other bands, and yeah, it is something to come. It's something good to come back to, because as Matt's already explained, other bands like there can be a wide variety of issues that you have to go through, and you know, one of them quite often is like, you know, just the basic presenting ideas, songs, riffs, lyrics, or whatever, and like how the ownership thing sometimes crops up in bands, and that sort of stuff, like as well as many other things. It's just good to be able to like straightforward get after it. I think, what Matt also said just about that stage in our lives as well, like, you know, a lot of people when they hit the 30s or 40s, like, you know, that's the kid's age, or it's the age where you're like, fuck, I really need to get my shit together, and just so many guys drop off the map, or have to like look at their bands suddenly going, this needs to be making money now, and all these different pressures and ideas start getting in their head and gnawing away at them. And I think we've, touch wood, I think we've passed through that stage of our life. You know, someone asked me earlier today, like, you know, how do you go about arranging doing things like, you know, tours, for example, and we've all got, like, at this stage, we've got the life now that supports that. We've got the partners that support that. We've got our equipment, we've got our chops, we know what we need to do. So, there's very little standing in the way of when we decide to do things. And that's kind of by design, I think, for all of us.
Matt, can you pick a song from the new album for us and tell us why you've chosen it and introduce it as well?
Okay, what's the third one called? Bring to Me the Kill. Yeah, I'm going to choose that because when we wrote the album, that felt like a weaker one. But it turned out fucking brutal, and I quite like it, so we're going with that.
Here it is. obviously we don't hang out, but I would like to think of you guys as metal mates. How has your life changed and made a difference to who you are? Sorry, the music that you create changed who you are as people.
Sam, you go first while I think about that. It's too intellectual for me.
I'll remind you what the question is once I finish. Fuck, how does music we created changes? It's hard to imagine a life where it's not day in, day out making death metal, or where that's not a big part of it. So,
but throughout your family man time and work time, are you actually just contemplating being a fucking brutal death metal cunt?
100%, absolutely, all the time.
Love that.
No. It pops in the head like a fair amount of time during the day. Like, you know, it probably ties back to lyrics as well. Like, you know, quite often when it comes to lyrics, I'm a magpie. Like, it's my day-to-day life, and someone will say something just out of context or whatever, and I'll just be going, oh, that made good lyrics in a song. And it quickly gets scrolled down. So it's kind of, the death metal part is still, you know, always kind of constant. Mm-hmm. Even if you're not, like, don't have the time to just sit still and rehearse or write or something, because, as you say, adult life's getting in the way. Shit, man. Yeah, I didn't choose the death metal life. It chose me.
Oh, Matt.
I'll tell you one thing that's probably changed with me is over the last few years. Well, I guess the Werewolves sort of lifespan so far, I've become probably more passionate about brutal music than I was prior to that. Even though, of course, I've always liked you know, death metal and black metal. Mm. But now it's like, you know, like if I go to the gym, then, and which I do most Monday to Friday,
yeah,
it's like without fail I'm listening to death metal.
Yeah,
and it fucking helps push, you know. And it's like, it's so ingrained in, you know, what I do now. And like, just writing these riffs, just, it comes easy, and I think it's just in there. Like, it's in there to stay. Just probably more so just through, you know, what we've achieved as a band over the last few years. It's really sort of cemented itself in with, you know, my personality and my fucking spiritual being, I guess. I don't know. I mean, just before we got into this interview, I was listening to Altars of Madness. Before that, I was listening to fucking Storm Gods Unbound.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And, before that, I was listening to Lockup. So,
oh, nice.
A nice relaxing Sunday for me, really.
One of the big supports you guys did was Mayhem. You know, what was the feedback that you got from, you know, Black Metal Kings?
Absolutely nothing. They didn't say a fucking word to us.
Really?
Yeah, no. Oh, look, okay, I exaggerate slightly. Hellhammer was chatty. Necro, bit weird. Stole a bottle of wine of mine.
Rude.
Matt saw that coming. What was it? Attila. Interesting guy. Weird cat, but like genial enough. The rest of them, the guitarist, the crew, like, didn't speak to us. Yeah, one of the funny stories I talk about is on the very last night where we played Adelaide. Like, you know, I think we'd done our show. We were in the dressing room. Some of them were out. Like, there's the piano sort of in the backstage area of the Adelaide venue, and they were playing Van Halen, I think, Jump, sort of on the piano, and I think I jumped out of the dressing room at some point, sort of half drunk, and was like, "Jump!" And they stopped what they were doing, got up, walked into the dressing room, closed the door, and that's
rock stars.
That's them. Yeah. Oh, it's their thing. But yeah, we definitely didn't get any feedback.
Yeah, I wouldn't class them as rock stars. I just class them as a bunch of fucking, like, weird. They're an enigma of a band. They're weird, and that's why they're so fucking good.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the phrases it sort of struck me when I was like watching them play and also just hang about is the real deal. Like, you know, just as I say, like so many of them were just like, you know, they didn't come off stage, they would put their spectacles on and sort of like, you know, do up their sweater and go back to being normal. They were kind of, you know,
They live
yeah, they seem to be pretty out there. Like I know Hellhammer didn't sleep for like I think 2 or 3 days of the tour. He was just up and going like non-stop, like this black metal action figure.
Yeah.
The dude's what, 54 and fucking just jacked like a fucking Mattel doll. Like it's, yeah.
Wow.
That's the band. Like, yeah. The gig was amazing. Yeah.
Sam, it's your turn to pick a track from the album.
Fuck me. Okay. Neanderhell. It's because I reckon this is the heaviest track on the album. The first half of it is brisk, and then it completely goes absolutely fucking mental in the second half. And when the song closes out, it's so brutal and so fucking heavy that I need to sit down and just like take a few deep breaths. That's why I like it. Enjoy.
not just a question of whether or not to use violence. There simply is no other way.
Hey, this is Matt from Werewolves. You're listening to another podcast with Metal V on Heavy Mag.
Got an Artspire tour coming up in October. Excited?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be going to that. I'd be going to that gig even if I wasn't playing it. So the idea of getting to see it for free 5 times in a row across Australia, that fucking rules.
Yeah, man.
We just need to speed our gig up so we can just bang it out, get off, and get ready to watch.
So 9 songs in 20 minutes, old Damaged style.
Yeah, that's
Something
right.
like that.
Just up everything in tempo a little bit so we can get through them quicker.
I can hear Dave in the distance in the US going, no.
Is there anything you blokes want to touch on or talk about before we quit? First of all, I want to say congratulations on the new album. Like I said, I can't say whether it's a growth or something new, but it's consistently Werewolves and amazing because you guys are a part of it and you guys know how much I love what you do. So thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, man.
Welcome.
No, I'd say it's a clear regression from the cave to the grave.
How so? This should be interesting.
No, it's just less pretense to being music and entertainment, and just it's more just sheer raw, unadulterated, unseasoned violence. Before it was sort of putting on the sparkly lights and a soundtrack and getting hit with the baseball bat, and it's just stripped back to the baseball bat now. So that's kind of how it strikes me.
I wouldn't call that a regression, mate. I'll definitely call that a nice growth.
Perhaps a fine tuning of what we're sort of trying to do. It's a bit weird. For me, for a while, I wasn't sure entirely what I thought of the album. Whether it was perhaps the production wasn't quite right, or maybe the songs weren't necessarily as good as some of the previous ones have been. But over the last sort of few days, the last week or so, that reviews have been coming in and people have been sort of talking to us about it and just messages and all that sort of shit. It's seems to be getting a really sort of positive response and everyone's into it. So yeah, it's good. It's been sort of overwhelming. And
so has that made you step back, Matt, and listen to the album differently to how you wrote it, to how people perceive it?
I think what happens with me is when we're mixing it, I'll just about go insane listening to it and wondering whether it's right or whether it's good enough or whatever.
Yeah.
And eventually we'll just go with it. And I had quite a long time between hearing it again. And when I listen to it again, months later or whatever, it's okay, right, I get it now. It works. I think maybe you get a bit immersed in something when you're doing it. And yeah, on this occasion, I sort of had to rely on. It was Sam actually that said it's fucking great. It's good. Sounds brutal. Sounds like how it should sound. Sounds like death metal. So sort of cool. Put the trust there, and lo and behold, everyone else seems to get that same vibe on it as well. So yeah, it's good. Another successful album. Touch wood.
For me, from the cave to the grave, was a pretty good album. When we did that one, we were kind of joking around, going, I don't know how we're going to beat this. With this one, I find myself repeating again, I don't know how we're going to beat this, but I do know it's smashed the shit out of From the Cave to the Grave. It kind of reminds me a little bit, I think this will sound conceited as hell with this band, we seem to go one pretty good album and then one absolute fucking mental case cracker of an album.
Yeah.
And we just alternate. So the first one, good one, What a Time to Be Alive, is the one that everyone seems to talk about, where it's just an absolute, fucking violation. From the Cave to the Grave, another good album with some 6 songs on it. And then this one, I think, is us going absolutely fucking buck wild again. And it's I like it. I think that's the mode we operate best at. Yeah, again, I just don't know how we're going to do better than it, which is always a wonderful thing to think when you're trying to get ready to go in the studio.
Number 5.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, lads, thank you so much for your time today. I'm going to see you in the mag next week. Matt, thank you for joining at such short notice. Sam, thank you for, letting me procrastinate and be an adult and have my time off. I want you each to pick a song from the new album. And
fuck.
introduce it and tell us why you've chosen it, and we'll finish up.
Sam, you go first.
I knew you were going to say that, goddamn you. Fucking hell, I'm just trying to remember what the song titles are.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I knew nothing then, and I know less now. That was gonna be the original album title, and then we changed it around.
Yeah.
I really like this one. It's got a bit of a different, even though it's heavy as fuck, it's got a little bit of a different feel to it. We do a few different things in there. It's normal, but that opening sort of marching stomp riff, it's perfect. It's such a violent, militaristic riff, and Dave is like absolutely, on tempo for that one. And yeah, the swearing and abuse is next level too. So I like it.
Thank you, Matt. Your go.
I'm going to go for Brace for Impact.
Nice.
Yeah, it's brutal, and then the fucking volume and goes up halfway through, and it gets twice as brutal. So we'll go with that.
We really had it.
Hey, this is Sam.
And this is Matt, and you're listening to another podcast from the Heavy Mag.
One day, my son, nothing shall be yours.
All right, thank you, lads. I appreciate it. Free pass to Archspire, please. I want to see you guys when we get there. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Cool.
6 shit, dude.
Bye.
Cheers.
Gotcha. Cheers, man.
Show me the same man, and I will kill him. Free my enemies, look
hate most people. I look at people and I see nothing worth liking.